Hello there, Max and Matt here, and we're back with another bonus episode for you.
The Tyre Kickers Classic Car Chat with Max and Matt.
This time, we're asking the big question: could we, or even should we, fix our own classic cars?
Yes, because while we could save hundreds and feel all clever, is it really worth risking a bruised thumb and a broken car?
The Tyre Kickers bonus episode.
Well, if you caught our show from the NEC Classic Motor Show recently, you'll have heard us ask this very question to Danny Hopkins, editor of Practical Classics magazine.
We had a sit-down chat with Danny in the podcast cafe in the middle of Hall 3. Now, we ran a brief bit of that in the NEC show podcast we did, but you know what? It was a really good, funny chat, so we're going to run the whole lot for you in full right now.
So, sat on a sofa in the middle of the show, we started by asking Danny if there's really any hope for us fixing our own classics.
Well, I think the first thing to do is you've got to know you've got to know yourself. And if you're really not a technical person, then don't put yourself through the pain of trying to be honest. Although I would say that you can't work that out unless you try it. And there is no feeling in the world, there's no better way of getting to know your car than getting under the bonnet and just doing a job. And it can be something really simple. Changing the oil. If you've got to 3,000 miles or 4, 5, 6, whatever you decide is the interval, rather than spending 200 quid with a specialist to do it, why don't you get the kit yourself? And it's all there, it's all available from the owners' clubs, or even, dare I say it, from one of the online portals, although you never know what's going to turn up in the post. Get under the bonnet, give yourself some time. Work out how to do it. I mean, if it's not available in Practical Classics, and there's lots of very good technical advice in that magazine, but there's always a YouTuber somewhere ready to tell you the exact job you want to do. You get under the bonnet, get that job done, change the filter, change the air filter, change the oil, stand back, start the engine and think, I've done that, and I've done that for the cost of the parts alone. And that means I'm actually part of this car that I own.
You underestimate us, though. We forget to put the sump plug back in, for example.
So you said
we've all done
stand back and call the RAC. That's our kind of like.
Well, we've all done it. I mean, we've all made horrible mistakes. And to be honest, one of the things that magazine does is it celebrates the things that we get wrong, because failure is so much more interesting than success. But that is all part of the learning process, isn't it?
The difficulty I find, being in Britain, I mean, my garage is just about big enough for me to shuffle around the car.
Yeah.
I've got no inspection pit. I've got no ramp. If I pull it out on the driveway, I just got a load of people gawking at me while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
We're not really set up.
Gawking? No, standing there in admiration at your self-sufficiency.
He's talking about his family because there's so many swear words coming out. What's that noise out of the garage? I've never heard that before.
So you kind of need like a mate with some space, don't you? Or
you
somebody
who's
who's done it before.
Or a tame local garage.
Yeah.
There are actually collectives. There are places around the country that have got spare ramps you can go and do it on.
Yeah, so that's probably a good place. Because I think with all these things, you can tackle things on your own. And to you, like probably an oil change is like really simple. But it does help to have somebody showing you for the first time.
Yeah, it really does.
That you smear the oil around the oil filter before you put it on and all that
That's
sort of
actually
stuff.
a really good point. I mean, one of the things that, we kind of take it for granted, don't we? But actually, if you're doing it for the first time, maybe take it to your specialist. But while they're doing it, say, can I watch what you're doing?
Yeah, I don't want to pay you anymore, mate, for doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Show me what you're doing.
Well, you could just say to them, we've got a lot of big jobs that you can do, but I want to do some basic servicing myself. And they probably go, yeah, no problem. And I've got tame mechanics, got tame people that I know. And actually, the tips that you get from them are invaluable. They're really, really useful. Real world, hands-on, 3D, in the moment tips. Can't beat them.
So what kind of jobs do you choose to feature in the magazine then? Because obviously each magazine needs to be a different story. So how do you choose what to do? I mean, it's going to be disc brakes, drum brakes, is it going to be carburetors? I mean, how do you do it?
I'd love to say that it's a really scientific process that's really pre-planned. It's not. It's often to do with, because we all own classics. I've got 14 classics myself, and the magazine's got its own workshop, so we've got somewhere to keep them.
Okay.
And all of those cars need jobs doing. And we have a planning session. We'll say what needs doing on whatever car you've got this month. And our workshop editor, Matt Tompkins, we'll talk to him about it, and he'll go, well, why don't you try doing that job, and we can feature it and photograph it as you go. We've also got the sagas section of the magazine, which is like our workshop diaries. So we always write about the stuff that we get wrong or right in the workshop doing that. And the journey that we have with all of our cars, and I've got restoration projects and running classics, and they all need work. the journey that we go on with those cars isn't just about going to a show or going on a trip. It's actually about getting that car to the road in the first place. And that is a really important journey. And it's also incredibly satisfying.
Is there anything you wouldn't do? Is there a job that you would go, no, it's not for me?
Trim. I mean, it's not. Or automatic gearboxes, which are basically witchcraft. Yeah. What happens in the automatic gearbox is like magic, and they don't get fixed. They just get a wizard in to cast a spell.
So you draw the line at, say, that, would you? I mean, would you take cylinder heads off? Would you take pistons out? All that kind of stuff?
Yeah. I've done an engine rebuild on a couple of engines. Head gasket change, no problem. Cam belt change, no problem. All of that stuff. And I kind of know my level. And also, actually, the other problem is that time. I don't have time to do stuff half the time. But I've tried painting. I've done the worst paint job on any car ever, and then the one after that
What was the car?
A Morris Marina, and there was
probably improved it.
Well, there were two mitigating circumstances about that, and I won't have anything said against the Morris Marina. They're absolutely bang on.
You're on the wrong podcast.
They're as good as any people's car of the era, and I'm one of the things that the magazine is really hot on is car snobbery. Everyone is welcome.
I'm the snob. He loves BL.
Yeah, fair enough.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good. But the reason why that went wrong, and I'm going to make all my excuses now. I was promised a booth, and I'd done all the preparation work, and the prep was pretty good. I was promised a booth. The guy got COVID. The booth was shut. I thought I'll do it outside. And we are next door to a lawnmower repair shop, and they're lovely guys. And when you start on a top coat, I did all the basics, all the undercoats. When you start on a top coat, you don't stop. You put it on in one go. Really. And I'd worked out the technique, and I was all right. Halfway through laying it on the roof, from behind me, I can hear ring, ding, 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 and then a great big blue cloud of two-stroke smoke. And I smelt it, and immediately I started seeing it react in the paint.
Oh, no.
And it micro blistered everywhere.
Isn't that called fleck? Can you just call it
it's
fleck?
called patina, isn't it? But anyway, the worst part of it was you can't stop. So I finished it and watched these little pock marks appear all over the paintwork. And the guy next door, Terry, just went, "You're right, Danny, that looks nice." I just went, "Yeah, it's all fine." So I basically had to take all of that off, and then it's never going to be right after that. And I ended up with a paint job that was okay from about 5 feet.
Now, what about any particular engines? Are there particular engines you wouldn't touch? I'm thinking maybe a Jaguar V12. We were talking to somebody earlier who had an SM with a Maserati V6 in it, which is kind of like generally seen to be, one of the most difficult engines to get running smoothly. Is there anything you wouldn't do?
Lots. I mean, I do. I'm very basic with what I know my limitations. So, I'll do big old iron stuff like B series, A series. At the moment, I'm getting a Renault Clio ready for my daughter to learn to drive in. So I've actually taken the head gasket off that and replaced the head gasket. So simple stuff I'm quite happy to play with. I had a TR7, so I did a slant for water pump change. That was involved.
Okay.
Goodness me. But yeah,
were you on a slant getting it out?
Oh, listen, but that was another case in point. I actually, luckily, and I suppose it's by virtue of who I am and what I do, I went to a place called Rob Sport International, and you know them if you've got a stag, and they took me through the process, and they kind of handheld me. So now I know I can do that. But I think if I'd been on my own, it would have been really tricky.
So you're a pro at this, you're organised. I guess you never drop a screw and go, "What's that? Where's that gone?"
I always do that. I mean, the thing is,
where did that come from?
We wear our ignorance with pride, and I think that's actually really important. There's a lot of people who know a lot of stuff in this business, and actually, I'm really much more interested in what I don't know. The journey of discovery is part of the joy of it, and I never. Every day should be a school day, and if it isn't, you've got to ask yourself why.
So you will admit that sometimes you do a job and you have a few things left over. Do you?
Totally, yeah. And I'll go, where do they go? Yeah. And then I just push them gently to the side, like a teenager pushing clothes under a bed.
A special box of things that are left over, so you can go for it later.
There's a special place that I think the little pixies come and take them away in the middle of the night, and then it's all fine.
What's the one job you've started and gone, "I wish I hadn't started this"?
It's called a Jensen Interceptor. So
it's the whole car.
Yeah, I bought a Jensen. My dream car was a Jensen Interceptor. I bought an absolute basket case for £1,000 about, it must be 17 years ago now, and I did a 10-year restoration on it. And so now I know exactly how to restore a Jensen Interceptor, but I also know I will never do it again. because it aged me. I mean, I'm only 25, and look at me. You know.
You've got the Interceptor to blame. Okay, so we're not going to do an Interceptor. We're not going to touch a Maserati V6.
No.
What kind of car is a good car to pick if you want to do the work on it yourself?
Okay.
Beetles, Land Rovers, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing about if you've got a car that you love, then that's the car you should be working on. And if it's beyond your skill set, get somebody else to do it. If you want to start in a classic car and you want something older, you cannot beat something like a Morris Minor or an A30, something with a really big club following, amazing specialist parts support, lots of expertise out there on tap. But I would recommend that kind of Mini, that kind of vibe.
Simple engine as well.
Real simple stuff, yeah.
I mean, MGB, that springs to mind.
Perfect.
You've got room to work on it because there's plenty of room. It's the B series, isn't it,
Yeah.
that was designed in 1840. So you can actually have the ideal car in that sense.
Yeah, you have. I mean, the MGB is a really good case in point. Plenty to go wrong on them. Plenty does go wrong on them, and there's an amazing support all round. So all of those kind of 50s to 70s to 80s British classics, bang on the money because they're everywhere. They're ubiquitous, and you've got all the expertise you need on hand.
Give us a starter pack of what we should be thinking of. We want to work on our simple classic car. What do we need?
I mean, it depends how old and knackered you are, to be honest. I mean,
Have a look. Car.
Yeah,
What do you think?
look, you. I mean, with my knees and my hips, these days I would say I would buy a compact lift to put in your garage if you can, a scissor lift,
Right.
so that you don't have
Is that just to get me to the car?
just to get into underneath it without going, you know. And my days of lying on my back on a cold, wet driveway doing a clutch change are gone.
Okay.
I'm too old for that stuff. So I'd get a little scissor lift.
Yep.
I'd spend a bit of money on that. If not, if you've got the space, perhaps a two-poster, second-hand, something like that.
Right.
Then you don't have to worry about your back going every time you bend over. Then I just get a basic set of tools. Get a really nice toolkit. I mean, Halford's Pro Toolkit for life. Get one of those. Start there. Make sure you've got all the PPE you need. If you're going to start welding, go and do a course. Get a cheap welder. Make sure you've got a really good helmet.
Max, don't do any welding.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it is seen as a bit of a dark art, but once you learn how to do it, and once you start doing it, it's incredibly satisfying.
Okay.
Really is.
It's just burning down your house. That's the bit I'm worried
Oh,
about.
you don't want to do that. No, that would be bad. But
So to just sort yourself out with the right tools, some overalls and stuff all the basic stuff. It's probably worth thinking about it, isn't it, for a little bit and making a list of stuff? Because
and
I find what really irks me is when I try and do a job. Because I'm happy doing like interior stuff, trim or dashboards or stuff like that. I can do that. But it's really annoying when you start a job and you haven't got the right tools or you haven't got the right stuff So you do need to plan these things.
You do.
Otherwise, it's quite stressful.
I just want to point out he's happy taking it apart, putting it back together
Oh,
again. It's a
that
different
one.
thing.
No, I've done that, and of course, whenever we do advice in the magazine, we say when you take stuff apart, always label it, put it in little sandwich bags, store it,
Take
And
photos.
What happens in reality is you take things apart, you put them on the side, and then you lose them.
Yes. Or I take pictures of switches and go, I'll take a picture of all the wiring, except I didn't take it from the right angle. So when I come to look at the picture, I can't see, where's it go? Oh, bugger.
and then or you put it in a box, and then you say that's my electrics box, and then you mix them up, and then the box gets full, then you lose the box. It's just great.
I sold my car and then I found a load of bits that were supposed to go back on it.
Yeah. Did you
Careful, the owner might be here.
Oh, whoops.
One careful owner.
Well, you've inspired us, Danny. Thank you very much. I think we'll go back and I'll do an oil change on your car first. How about that, Max?
My final bit of advice for anybody who really, is really thinking about working on their car, just do it. Give it a go.
A great chat with Danny there. Check him out and the team actually doing stuff properly in Practical Classics, and give them a follow on Instagram too.
Now, we'll be back with a brand new episode soon. Right now, I'm off to get a socket set and a Haynes manual and do my clearances.
Dear, what could possibly go wrong?
Pretty much everything. Call the RIC. Goodbye.
Bye.
If you've enjoyed this episode, please leave us a nice review on Apple Podcasts.